And my name is Sam Smith. All right, awesome. Well, today's a great episode. We are going to talk about how to build a sales funnel that actually works. We talked about the importance of and why you should care about building a sales and marketing funnel in episode 2, and we highly recommend that you go back and listen to that if you're trying to figure out what the fuss is all about with sales and marketing funnels. If you're trying to make sure that you build one that works, then you're going to really like this episode. Sales funnels are a core concept in digital marketing, and we discussed this in episode 2. A way to really move prospective browsers into customers. If you offer a product or service that people buy online, or if it requires human interaction for people to buy your product or service, then a well-developed sales funnel can take you from obscurity and lack of direction to a super laser-focused strategy to get potential customers to take the actions that you want them to take. Hannah, where should marketers start when trying to develop a sales and marketing funnel?
A funnel won't succeed unless you make a plan and unless you know each step of that process. So you know the end goal, which is you want them to become a customer. And so you want to figure out how to get there. And so you want to figure out what content you want to offer, how you're going to get them to opt into the email list, and the different types of emails that you're going to send in order to sell them and have them become a customer for you.
So as a copywriter, is it important that companies document their target audiences through like a buyer persona framework?
Yes, a buyer persona is one of the most valuable ways to, spend your time when you're building an email funnel and a marketing plan, because it allows you to focus on your ideal customer. Like it or not everyone is going to buy from you, unless maybe you're Facebook, but there's some people that aren't on it. And
Sure.
So you want to figure out the demographics, the psychographics, the age and income. Can they afford your product? Is your product for lower income families? And all of that you need to think through in order to know who to sell to and how to sell to them.
Very interesting. So sort of building that framework and understanding who your audience is key. Mikhail, do you use buyer personas when you develop content?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when we are branding or marketing for any company, we have to understand who the clients and like who their ideal customer is, and should kind of speak a voice and produce content in a way that they would find valuable, right? So if it was stuff for me, like you said, I would probably just be like Star Wars 8 information only, and I'll read that all day long. But, if we're working with a beauty company, we want to go into the lifestyle of somebody who's going to be using their product.
Okay, gotcha. So as a company sitting trying to figure out how to develop a really compelling sales funnel that works, Mikhail, what are some examples of offers that companies can create or use to bring potential customers into their funnel?
Well, one of the offers that always work best are like sales, right? Get 25% off, something like that. But we've also found that when you are creating an offer, using an actual dollar amount works really well also. So that's one thing. Another thing would be, incorporating other people into the offer. So it's like bring your friend type of thing, right? So that way you're not only getting more customers in, but it increases your word of mouth after that also if the customers had a great experience.
Gotcha. And so let's say for someone who obviously is trying to, who would take advantage of a 25% off or some sort of discount of some sort. That is maybe someone who's a little bit further down that buyer's journey, right?
Right.
Someone who's in the place where they're looking for service providers, and that offer is really great. Someone who's in the decision-making mode, right? So Hannah, as far as offers are concerned, how can a company or where should a company start when developing an offer that's at the top of their funnel to really sort of bring that brand awareness in?
I think the key, and it's going to change depending on industry, but I think the key thing is to make it enticing, but you also, because they're at the top of the funnel, it needs to be more enticing than if it's in the middle. But you also don't want to give it away too much, or they're not going to be willing to pay full price for your item. And so I think you really need to balance that. And it depends. It could be $25 off a $100 order, which is pretty significant. But it all depends on your product and your margins, and kind of you'll have to judge it for yourself. Mikhail can probably answer it a little better than I can.
But exactly like you said, though, like it should, maybe it's something where it's more general, up like when they're at top of funnel. But then when they're in your email inbox and you're in there and you finally got in, it's like you got to give them something that's unique to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like because then if I tell Hannah, it's like, dude, I just got $10 off of my $37 Starbucks drink, but I only got it because I'm on their email thing, then she might want to sign up for those same offers. So make it unique to that person.
Interesting. Okay, so let's say the traffic sources or the ways that we can bring people into the funnel include email marketing. They include social media, search. So when you're bringing people in that way, what is a way that you can or how should companies, our viewer and our listener, how should they think about, or how should they start constructing a landing page where that offer can live to ultimately have that action or that conversion event take place?
How would they construct the landing page?
What are some things that they should be thinking about or considering?
Yeah, well, definitely one of the making the landing page accurately describe what the offer is, and building value in the copy there is very important, and making it very simple for somebody to submit their information and sign up. I would say that when you're constructing it, don't have like name, last name, birthday, social security number, driver's license, submit. Just have like first name, last name, email, submit. That's really all we need for the most part, right?
For that first step.
That first step, I think that it's really important to simplify it while building value in the copy and in the imagery.
Gotcha. So when it comes to a way that a company uses email marketing, in the funnel itself, once someone has opted in or they've given that company their information, right? How can a company use email marketing? Where do they start as far as developing that email marketing strategy to nurture those leads that came in through the funnel to make another purchase, or to get down to that conversion event, maybe scheduling an appointment that they're ultimately looking for?
Well, I think what marketers should take into consideration is you can't blast them with an offer every single time. If you do that, then then your consumer, your potential customer is going to think, oh, I'll just wait till the next email. So building value throughout that, like maybe, creating a funnel includes creating a series of emails, maybe on a particular subject, right? So it's like, if we're going for the CEO, you can do multiple emails, how to build company culture, how to increase sales, how to do this, how to do this, how to do that. And then it's like, hire our consultant and marketing agency. Weird. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then give us a call, or like $100 off your first consultation, whatever it might be.
So that makes a lot of sense. So I mean, as far as like what should companies be focusing on? What key metrics should they be looking at and monitoring in order to understand, Hannah, how well it's performing?
I think open rates are important, but opening the email doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do anything further. So you want to look at, are they clicking the links? Which links are they looking at? What geographical regions are they coming from? Because if someone from the UK got on your list, but your service is only available in the United States, then you kind of need oh, well, that might be a lead. Like it could be a lead, but it's not. And so you want to focus on the where people are clicking and the geographical regions, and also just lost my train of thought, but we're just going to go with it. Just look on click rates.
When you do email, so like let's say most companies out there are using email in some way, shape, or form, right? And they're trying to improve the way that those emails are performing. Like, what is a simple way could improve their open rates on the emails?
Work on your subject copy.
Okay.
Is really the biggest thing. Like if it's just like 20% off here, somebody probably won't do that. The best email I ever got, actually, where I opened it, I get a lot of spam email, right? I didn't care who was on it. Said, oh, look, there's a unicorn inside. that's what got me to open the email. You know what I mean? So get creative with the subject line copy. And then in addition to that, increasing your open rates, also make sure that the content that you're delivering within it is actually valuable to the end user. Because if, for me, like, and I think we're all victims to this, right? I do not want any more emails from Groupon, but I don't unsubscribe. But if there was always things that I really, really cared about within that email, I'd probably open it every single time. So make sure that the content within it is good so that somebody that's already on your list continues to open that email up.
So it's not just about a catchy subject line. It's really about tying that subject line into what's actually in the email, right?
Yeah,
Delivering
absolutely.
on that promise. Very similar to bringing someone from to a landing page from email or from a social media ad or from an organic post somewhere. You want to sort of fulfill on that promise, right? They clicked through for a very specific reason, right? And you don't want to let them down. It's really important to deliver on that, to sort of fulfill that promise and show them exactly what they came there for.
Right.
Now, for a company that is obviously, they're driving traffic to landing pages, they're converting and getting people to opt in to their for their content offer or for their discount offer, and they're using email marketing to drive traffic through that to get people to continuously come through and to redeem more offers. In the email itself, how is it that how do you construct the email? How do you get people to read that email? What is it in that, is there a lot of images? Is there mostly text? Is there buttons? How would you sort of direct our viewer and our listener to create a compelling email that's going to work?
I think that, for one, as Hannah was mentioning earlier, you really got to think about who your customer actually is. If I'm a fashion company, I'm going to want to use more pictures, right? If I'm a dental lab, there maybe case studies or some videos or something like that will be more compelling throughout that email. So, for one, always start off with a valuable piece of content. Make sure that you have your calls to action very clear throughout it as well. So not just at the very bottom, because some people won't get there. Don't be afraid to have one right in the middle or even closer to the top. And make sure that somebody can actually see that call to action also. You have no idea how many clients we've seen their emails and it's like their call to action button looks exactly the same as the rest of the copy. You can't even see it. So, make sure that those things are standing out. And I don't know. I think because consumers, and Hannah, correct me if I'm wrong, I think because consumers are relatively savvy on what the hell is going on now. Can I say hell on our show?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's the production.
Right. So because consumers are relatively savvy as to what's going on, I feel like they can almost fish out.
They don't want to be tricked.
Right.
Is what, yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. So I hate this, but be genuine, be authentic, give good value, but make sure that you are asking it, first, second, and thirds of the email at the very least.
And also another thing to tack on to what Mikhail was saying is that people don't read online, they skim. So you want to make that call to action button obvious. You want to do short paragraphs, realize they're not going to read your entire email. Don't be insulted by that. It's just the realities of serving content online. And so just keep that focused, bullet points, bold some key statements, and then have that call to action nice and big and in the middle or to the top.
It's a great point.
That's great. That's awesome stuff. Great stuff, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much to our viewer and our listener. I hope that you were able to find value here and learn a little bit more about how to really build a sales funnel that works. This has been an episode of The Production Room brought to you by Replay, a collective marketing agency. My name is Sam, and from all of us here at Replay, we love you. And until next time, don't stop growing. Don't ever, ever stop.